I'm doing a super exciting video. This is my top 10 books of 2015 as well as my 2015 reading wrap up. So first I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I read this year. I ended up reading 50, which was exactly my reading challenge on Goodreads, and I don't think I'm going to be doing a reading challenge next year just because I don't want to have the stress of like, I have to finish this many books. Actually, when I'm filming this, I haven't finished 50, but I'm going to be finishing this book before the end of the year. I'm actually filming this on like the 28th of December. So I also just want to mention that Goodreads doesn't count rereads, so I actually reread a few books this year, so just because it didn't count them, I actually read over 50 books. But without further ado, here are all of the books that I read in 2015. The first book that I read this year was Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, and I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Sparks Rise, which is the novella that comes in between Never Fade and In the Afterlight, and I gave that book, I think, 4 out of 5 stars. And then after that, I read In the Afterlife by Alexandra Bracken, the final book in one of my favorite trilogies of all time. 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, however you say her name. I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. After that, I read The Winter's Curse by Marie Rutkotsky, and I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Amazing Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott, of course 5 out of 5 stars. You guys know how much I love this book. After that, I read Atlantia by Ali Condi, and I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Stepping Heavenward by Elizabeth Prentice, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. After that, I read To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and I believe I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Ferris by Marissa Meyer, which I gave 4 stars. After that, I read The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. After that, I read Trapped by Michael Northrop, and I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read Salt and Stone by Victoria Scott, the sequel to Fire and Flood, and I absolutely loved it, 5 out of 5 stars, of course. After that, I read The Geography of You and Me by Jennifer E. Smith, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Dune and Destined for Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. Absolutely adored, 5 out of 5 stars to both. Read them if you have not. Then I read Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, which I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. After that, I read Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then The Air by Kira Cass, which I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. And after that, I read An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars as well. Then I read The Distance Between Us by Casey West, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. After that, I read The Death Code, which is the sequel and conclusion to the Murder Complex duology, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. And then shocker, another Lindsay Cummings book, I read Balance Keepers, The Fires of Calderon by Lindsay Cummings, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Shades of Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon, which is the 3rd book in the Dune series, and I absolutely loved it. It's my favorite so far, and yes, 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I only gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. Then I listened to the audio version of We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, but now I have a physical copy, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, but it was amazing. I kind of think I should have given it 5, because it was like so good. Oh. After that, I read another Morgan Matson book, which was Since You've Been Gone, and I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read 2 books that I do not have with me here, but it is The Jewel and the White Rose by Amy Ewing, and I gave both of these books, I think, 5 out of 5 stars. I got The Jewel from the library and I had an arc of The White Rose, but then I gave it to a friend, so I don't have them to show you, but they were amazing and I definitely recommend them. Then I read To Get to You by Joanne Bischoff, and I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Amazing Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. So good, 5 out of 5 stars. After that, I read The Fear Trials by Lindsay Cummings, which is the novella to the Murder Complex duology, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I took a quick break from that trilogy and read The Pan by Michael Eldridge, which I actually have a book review for, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I went on to read the other 2 books in the Grisha trilogy, which are Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising, and I gave both of these 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Witch of Blackbird Pond by Elizabeth George Spear, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. After that, I read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which I think I gave 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Magnus Chasing the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan, and I gave this 4 stars. Then I read Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, and I gave this book 5 stars. And after that, I read Juniors by Kawhi Hart Hemmings, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Then I marathoned the entire Madman's Daughter trilogy by Megan Shepherd, The Madman's Daughter, Her Dark Curiosity, and A Cold Legacy, and I gave all these books 5 out of 5 stars. So good. Then I read Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read It's a Wonderful Life, which does not have an author because it was adapted from the movie. So yeah, but I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Christmas Shoes, and I can't remember who wrote this, and so I don't have a copy with me either. So yeah, but I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Burning Glass by Catherine Purdy, which was incredible, and I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I'm so sad that it's over. And last but certainly not least, my fifth Alexandra Bracken book for the year, Through the Dark by Alexandra Bracken, which is the novella collection of Sparks Rise, In Time, and Beyond the Night. And that's actually the only one I read because I actually read the other 2 throughout the year. But I'm counting this as one. Yeah, this was my final read of the year. I actually haven't read it yet, so I feel really weird. But I will be reading it before the end of the year, and by the time you watch this, I will have read it. So I'm so happy I read 50 books, over 50 books, because I reread The Selection, The Elite, and The One, and maybe a couple other books. So yeah. That is my wrap up for 2015 reading wise. I'm so happy with it, but again, I will not be doing a reading challenge for next year just because it's a lot of stress, and plus I'm graduating from high school next year and I'm like so it's just gonna, I don't want to stress about how many books I read. So that is it, and I'm now going to get into my top 10 books that I read this year. And books means also series because I can't limit it to just one book. And these are in order of my least favorite to my favorite, but I don't dislike any of them because obviously they're in my top 10. Okay, so number 10 on my list is, actually it's probably pretty obvious because it's like missing from right there, Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. So good guys. If you haven't read it yet, you have to read it summer of 2016 or spring or something. It's just like, it makes me so happy. It's just like such a happy book and I love it so much. Number 9 is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I absolutely love this book. I actually just got an arc of Glass Sword and I'm so excited to read it next year. I'm actually rereading this like very soon to prepare for this one. So yeah, but this is definitely number 9 on my list. I absolutely loved it. It was so good, and I just can't wait to read the second one. It's so pretty. Oh, so pretty. Number 8 on the list is The Murder Complex Duology by Lindsay Cummings, because Lindsay Cummings is amazing, not only as a human being, but as an author, because these books are incredible, especially the second one. If you read the first and somehow didn't like it by some miracle, read the second, because it just gets even better, and it's so good. So yeah, definitely pick it up as long as you can handle gore. Then yeah, read it. It's so good. Number 7 on the list is Burning Glass by Catherine Purdy, because I got this book in the mail on Christmas Eve, started it on Christmas Day, and then finished it on the 28th because it was just so addictive and incredible, and it comes out on March 16th. You guys have to buy it like the second it comes out because it's amazing, and I will be filming and putting up a review as soon as the book's out. So yeah, I'm really excited to discuss this book with you guys and for all of you to read it because it's just incredible and I loved it. Number 6 is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, because this book was incredible. It actually really inspires me in the type of book that I'm actually writing. I haven't actually started writing it yet, but like I'm working on it, and it just really inspires me a lot, and it was just so like intricate and beautiful, and like, oh, it's so good. I really started getting into fantasy this year, and this was really the first one that I read that was like fantasy, and it was so good. It was just like so cool, like all the different things, like the tests and everything. It was just awesome. Like, I highly recommend this. If you still haven't read it, please read it. It's incredible. By the way, I will be saying that about all 10 of these, so. Number 5 is Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer, because you guys know how much I love this book. It was just like such a happy place to go to, and like basically it's about this girl where she picks up a book and she's obsessed with the book. She reads it over and over, and then she finds out that the main character, the prince in the book, is real, and she tries to get him out of the book, and it's like the coolest thing ever. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I couldn't get into the second one, so I still haven't finished it yet, which is off the page. But this one, guys, this one is like, I feel like it's a part of my soul. So yeah, read it. Number 4 on the list is The Madman's Daughter Trilogy by Megan Shepherd, because I absolutely adore it, and I read it so quickly, and it's just so addictive and interesting and creepy and amazing. And if you haven't picked up The Madman's Daughter yet, just please do it, because I am seriously obsessed with these books, and I actually created a fan account on Instagram for them. That's how like obsessed I am. Number 3 is another series, and that is the Dune series by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon, because I first read this series this year, Dune, and I got it for my birthday in March, and I just like in love with it, guys. It started my Scotland obsession, and as you can tell, I'm like literally wearing a Scotland shirt right now, and my phone case is the Scottish flag. Just like listening to Celtic music while I read these, and now I listen to the music back again, it just reminds me of the books. And like honestly, I just want to go to Dune so badly. Definitely one of my all-time favorite series now. It just makes me so happy, and I'm gonna be rereading them again before the final book, Forever Dune, which comes out this fall, and I am not ready for it to end, but I'm excited to have the final book. It's just so good, guys. Like literally perfection right here. And we're getting to the top. Number 2 is The Darkest Minds trilogy by Alexandra Bracken, because I finished the trilogy this year, even though I started it last year. I read the first book and the first novella last year. Well, not for you guys. For you guys, it started 2016, but still. I finished it. I read Never Fade, Sparks Rise, and In the Afterlight this year. And so, like, it was so good, guys. Like, one of my favorite series of all time. Favorite dystopian of all time, definitely. And it's just, like, amazing. And if you've never heard me rave about this series, then you're probably new here. And drumroll please! Number 1 favorite read of the entire year is the Fire and Flood books. Yes! They're so amazing, guys. If you still haven't read them, I've been raving about them since like February. What are you doing? I got it for like 2 of my friends for Christmas, and one of them's already read it and she's obsessed with it. And so like, oh my gosh, they're so good. They deserve to be like the Hunger Games. They are a lot like the Hunger Games, but maybe even better. I said it. I said it. Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott. Go Google it. Buy it. I fell in love with this one immediately right when I started it, and then I had to wait a couple months for the second one, but it was so worth it because it was even better. And oh my gosh, if you guys haven't bought it, just buy it. Just buy it right now. So this is my number 1 read of the year. Last year it was the Lunar Chronicles. This year it's the Fire and Flood books. That is it for my top 10 books of the year and my 2015 reading wrap up. Oh my gosh, how is it that 2015 is already over? I can't wait for 2016 though. I know it's gonna be an awesome year. I know that I'm gonna get a lot of more opportunities to meet you guys. Plus, I've been thinking, and I don't know if I'll do this, but I've been thinking about having a meetup in the Dallas area. So if you live in the Dallas area, comment below if you would come or not, because I know I have a lot of bookish friends who live in the area, and so we could like all go book shopping together and get some like Starbucks and go book shopping at Barnes & Noble. It'd be like the best time ever. So if you would be interested, please comment below, because that would be like the most fun thing in the whole world. So yeah, that was really random, but I thought I'd throw it out there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how many books you guys read in the comments below. I'm like really excited to see how many books you read, because I know someone read like 150 or something, or 180. I'm like, I didn't even read 80. How did you read 180? That's just crazy. But anyway, that is it for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye!